There we go.
There we go. There we go. We're back in business. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Working Together Fridays. This is Pam, Lynn, and Tawanda, and what I want to do is, hey, why don't you two say hi first?
Good morning. I'm Tawanda Hill. Hi, everybody. Stand up. Is that on purpose? Send us a chat message.
And hi, everybody. This is Lynn Ruby. Good to see you here.
Okay, is everybody able to hear? If you would raise your hands, that would be great.
She just cut out. I can hear you, Tawanda.
I can hear too.
I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, there you go.
Okay. Well, what is WTF? And it's Working Together Fridays, and it's a free webinar that we do once a month, generally on the third Friday, and we try to do it about 9 a.m. Arizona time. Now, keep in mind, Arizona time is a little different. We don't change time zones, so we so make sure you get on the same page with us. So, who is this for? And some of you may be trialing Constant Contact, some of you may be brand new to it, and some of you may be oldies that have been using it. Now, maybe oldies isn't the right word. Mature users.
Experienced users.
Yeah.
That was my word. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like oldies. Oh, wow. Okay. And why? Why are we doing this? We want to support you and help you out, and then keep you up to date on new evolutions of the program, and then provide specific answers to your questions that you've submitted. And then we hope that y'all learn from everybody else's questions. So the way we take questions is when you register, you're allowed to submit questions, and we take them on the first come, first served basis. I'm Pam Furlong, and I own Tucson Marketing Tools. Of course, I live in Tucson. And Lynn, tell us a little bit about you.
Yes, hi, I'm Lynn Ruby. I'm in the Phoenix, Arizona area, and I'm the CEO and founder of Ruby Marketing Systems. We do and video marketing.
Tawanda.
Good morning. I'm Tawanda Hill. I'm actually located in the West Valley in Phoenix, and I have the pleasure of being on two teams. I'm also on the Pacific Northwest team, so sometimes you'll see me in Phoenix, work on digital marketing and helping you master that digital marketing maze.
Fantastic. Now, right now we're all in Arizona. Tawanda, are you in Arizona right now? Tawanda, are you in Arizona right now?
I am, yes.
So you can be anywhere, but we're in Arizona right now, and so that's fantastic. So we want to start off with a marketing tip on color matching tools. So there's some pretty cool tools out there, and there's many of them. I'm going to show you two of them, or tell you about two of them, and one of them is for the PC and one's for the Mac. So the one for the PC, you have to go to this URL and download it. By the way, we're going to provide these slides to you later. This will be recorded, and so don't worry if you don't get all the information. You can go back and review it later. And also we have the Mac, and the Mac color picker, which is built into your Mac, and if you go under utilities, it's the digital color meter. So now I want to demo.
Pulling up the color picker right now, Color Cop, and working from a PC. Lost audio from you. So if you're watching the screen, she took the eyedropper and she's going over to select the color. that she and you'll notice it's given her the color inside of Color Cop, and she's able to drop that color down into the magnifying screen, and it's going to give her the number that she wants. And it's given it to her in two ways. It's given it to her in the form of numbers as well as in the RGB code.
Twanda, can you hear me?
Now we can.
Okay, I'll take over here. We're going to go into the toolbar and we're going to select the color palette, and we drop down the palette. And that palette, we want to match it exactly, so we're going to click on more colors and we're going to drop in that hex color. Right now it's gray, and that number represents that gray. We're going to replace that with a new color, with a new hex color. It shows me the current color and the new color. I'm going to click Done, go into my toolbar and click Save, and I've got the new color.
Yay!
I don't know how we lost the sound there, and now I've lost my picture, so... Oh.
We can still see it and we can hear you. So keep going, Pam. You're doing great.
Okay, fantastic. Well, the next, we'll segue into Twanda. You're taking the next question. Can you see the next slide, and can you advance it?
Let's see. Okay. I'm going to take control of the screen.
Thank you very much.
But no, it's trying to show my screen, Pam. So I think you have to keep control of the screen and just advance it for us.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Pam. You should have it back.
I'm not seeing it yet, so hold on 1 second.
While you guys are working on that, I wanted to add one thing about the Color Cop, because I love Color Cop. I could not live without it. And when you go to that web page to download it, you do have to download it to your computer. Be very careful. They're going to want you to download all these other things to your computer that you don't want. So uncheck all those buttons when you download it. But definitely get Color Cop. You will love it as much as I do.
Good
Great.
point. And I'm so sorry, everybody, that we lost the sound on that for a minute. But Twanda, this is a perfect segue into what Twanda is going to answer Tom's question. So Twanda, take it away.
Okay, so how do I make a template match my one is logo, 2 is font, and 3 is color? Next slide. Okay, so one of the first things I do when I'm going to work with a client on their brand spec sheet, so I have the information handy. So if you see, this is a client of mine, Guerrilla Graphics. I have their logo. It's already Pam used the color code identifier for RGB colors. And so those are the numbers that go with it. And then I have his fonts, his slogan, his Facebook page. The website is under construction. Next slide. Okay, so if you're inserting the logo is just to be inside of a box. As you can see, you're inside of the option of insert images. Next slide. And once I insert the image, it's called, I pulled up his slide that was already in the file. I inserted it, but as you see over here with the red box, the red arrow, the first one, I wanted you guys to see how you can make it a clickable link. Anytime I put a logo in, I don't want to leave that real estate untapped. If someone clicks on it by accident, since he does not have a website updated yet, I put his Facebook page in there. So when they click on it by accident, it takes them to Facebook. So you click on the link, you add them, and there the logo drops in. And one other tip is when you put in your logo, I also like to write the name of the company in text as well. And the reason being is that since so many people are looking at their emails on their mobile devices, they don't automatically display graphics. So I still want you to be able to see the graphic. The other arrow that I have here is for the image description, and it says Guerrilla Graphics logo. And I also want you to remember that tip as well. So right now we have the logo entered into the file. Okay, next. So fonts, it's very important to know your fonts. So when you're setting up your branding, you have an opportunity to not only control the type of font, but also control the size and the color. And there's the color and fonts menu right there. So in here, I would just click on it for the headline text. I would change that to whatever that spec should be. I would change the font size and the color. Okay, and you have to, when you're working with the fonts, you have to be in the block as well. Next, Pam. And color. Pam just gave you a great demonstration on color, and I also like to set up the colors that you're using. It's very important across all of your social platforms that your colors be consistent, because we've never seen a green arches. They're always red, and it's the same color.
Yeah.
Arches? Say that again?
Except in Sedona, they have teal arches, the only ones in the world.
Oh my goodness, I didn't know that.
Be McDonald's. So keep your colors consistent. And so like I said, Pam dropped in the color code into the hexagon box. I actually like to use the RGB, but that's more my graphic design background than anything. But to get to your colors, if you hit more colors, it's going to take you and bring up this opportunity to either add them or as RGBs or hex colors. So logo, font, and color are the keys for keeping your branding consistent in your templates. That's it for me.
Okay.
I feel like Vanna. And let's turn it over now.
Okay, this is a question for Lynn from Larry.
So Larry has asked us, why are mobile templates important? And if you've been to any of our sessions lately, you've probably heard us talk about how important mobile is. So why do we have to have a mobile template? And Pam, I've got some, you're going to like have to be clicking here. There we go. The reason we're so focused on making sure that our emails look good on mobile is, first of all, 51% of emails are opened on a mobile device. Next. And 29% of Americans are using only a mobile device to access the internet. You know, that means they don't have a desktop computer or a phone, something like that.
Wow.
We're checking our phones constantly, up to 150 times a day. So this is where people are. They're on their phones. They're on their mobile devices. Let's see if there's another bullet there, Pam. Yeah. Oh, yes. And here you go. So when your email that goes out to your list does not look good on 75% of people just delete it. And even worse, the next statistic, Pam, 30% unsubscribe. So it is critically important that your emails look good on the mobile devices that people are looking at them on. Okay, it's very, very important.
Lynn, my sound just quit. So
Oh,
are you ready?
I can hear you.
Next slide. There we go. And go ahead, click like 2 or 3 times here. 2 more. There we go. Stop. Now, I want to make sure that you understand the difference between devices. It's important to understand used interchangeably. People will use mobile responsive and there's mobile friendly. You probably used both of these terms at some point, and they mean very different things. So when we talk about mobile responsive, what that means is that the template or the website or the email that has been designed as a piece of communication for our business, if it is mobile responsive, that means that the technical guys have gone into that template or have gone into that website and have made sure that it resizes itself to whatever device it is on. It just automatically resizes itself so that it can be read. It's responsive to the mobile device that it is on. So that's the job of the technical folks, okay? Then there's mobile friendly, which means something very different. It means that that website or that email or that template is also easy to read, easy to look at, easy to press the buttons when you try to hit something with your fat fingers, right? So the mobile responsive job is the technical job of the gurus who do the tech, right? They do a great job at it. We, as the marketer people, you and your businesses, or we as we're working for you, can take something like 10-point font and nobody can read it, right? Or we use pictures that are too small, or we use buttons that are too small, and if you try to hit a button or a phone number, it hits something else instead. So we can take a really great mobile responsive template and make it really non-friendly for mobile people, mobile readers. So make sure you understand the difference and that you're using techniques on your website and your templates and your emails that maintain the mobile friendliness of the communication that you're sending out. Go one more slide, Pam. I don't recall if I have another slide or not. Ah, there we go. So here's the difference, right? On the left is it's non-mobile responsive, and it's also non-mobile friendly, okay? The one on the right is both mobile responsive because it fits within the framework of that device, right? And it's also mobile friendly because it's got the big fonts and the big text that we can read and the big picture that we can immediately grab people's attention with. So as you send things out to those more than 51% of people who are looking at your emails on a mobile device, which way do you want to look, right? You want to stick with that old two-column look, or you want to go with the mobile friendly one and the mobile responsive one that people can automatically immediately see and read and grasp when they look at it on their phone or their iPad or their tablet. I think that's it, Pam. Go one more for me.
Yep.
There we go.
Okay, I got a two-for question here. It is, what is the number one reason people will open your newsletter? And what would be a compelling subject line? Now, I got to start out with telling you, we teach a whole webinar, a whole seminar on subject lines. So we're going to scratch the surface here. So here's 3 reasons people open it. The first thing, imagine yourself sitting in front of your inbox. The first reason you're going to open some is you know who it's from. The second reason is, did it come in at a convenient time? When you were sitting in front of your in front of your inbox, was it a good time for you to read it then? And then the compelling subject line is the next part we're going to talk about, but was it worth reading? So who's it from? Do I know the people? Do I trust them? And is it worth reading? And 3 little words. Imagine yourself sitting in front of
We've lost sound again on Pam.
Yeah.
So there are 3 little words that rule your world, and it's now, later, or never.
Can you hear me now?
There we go.
Yeah, I have a feeling my modem's going out or something. So I so apologize. But thank you guys for jumping in and taking over when I do get knocked off. Anyway, when you're sitting there you go. When you're sitting in front of your inbox, there's 3 words you're gonna sort through your emails. You're gonna either read them now, later, or never. And never's always turn into deletes. And laters, they're not urgent. You don't need to read them now, or they're really long, but you want to read them later. But laters often become nevers. So what we want you to do is focus on sending stuff that you sent that people can read right now. It's urgent, or it's something they need to read right now. Okay, let's jump into, again, we're just scratching the surface here on the great subject lines, but I'm going to give you some suggestions, and there's 6 here. And top appeal, for example, 3 tax deductions you may qualify for. Sense of urgency, 5 seats left for Batman versus Superman. By the way, I don't get that movie.
I don't either. Go ahead.
I just don't get it. But anyway, somebody can explain that to me later. FAQs, frequently asked questions. How to protect your plants tonight would be a perfect one. Let's say we were having a freeze coming up tonight. For a landscaper to send that out, that would be a very urgent thing to read. And then ask a question. Rocky Point, want to go? I just did this for a motorhome club. They were having a trip. They were having a trip to Rocky Point, and instead of saying want to go, we said, are you going? And I cannot tell you how many people responded to that. They said, oh my gosh, we didn't really want them to answer that question. But the good news is people were reading that email. And then problem and solution, dirty car, we can wash it. So maybe it's a car wash. And stay in the know. 7 signs you're at risk for diabetes. So of course this would probably be going out to people that were very health conscious and so forth. Okay. Question number 4 is Lynn, take it away. It's from Tim.
Actually, that's for Twanda.
No, that's
Wanda, I'm sorry, yeah. That's right.
Okay, so thanks, Tim, for that wonderful question. What are the keys to great content? And one of the things that you have to remember is to write for your audience and not for yourself. Because we get so hung up on what we think is important, but that may not be important to our members and our audience. You want to use links, you want to keep your information relevant, and you want to make sure it's short and focused. We know that people are not going to spend, 10 minutes reading through your information unless it's really enticing. So keep it sweet, keep it.
Next slide, Kim.
Next slide. Okay, I'm back. I lost you for a minute.
So, and click again. So one of the things to think about when it's time to talk about content is creating, click again, curate and extend. You want the structure to make it easy. Are you clicking, Pam?
I'm not. I lost you again. I'm so sorry. I'm not able to hear you for a minute. So I am clicking. I'm clicking, but nothing's happening.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Let me
Try your right arrow.
Little technical difficulties here, and we'll get you back in a second here. Okay.
Hold on 2 seconds. We'll be right with you. Okay, Rick, as we are getting to the question from Tim, what I am doing is actually, Pam, I'm actually pulling up the slide on my slideshow.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, and are you able to see Twanda's screen right now? Lynn?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Let me see if I can get you guys over there.
It's only because we're sharing difficulty. As the screen is coming up, uh, let's see. I'm going to take the control of the panel. I'm going to show my screen.
Are you showing it right now? I can hear you in and out.
There we go.
Okay, perfect. I see your
You see my
screen now.
screen?
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Oh. Real quick. The technical difficulties of being going to get us to where we need to be. Okay, so I'm talking about curating. Okay, you can see my slide now?
Yay!
Yes. Awesome.
Okay, 3 simple ideas for content. So creating, curating, and extending the life of your information. So content is a big tool, and we get stuck and overwhelmed, and sometimes we tend to, it stops us. So if you use structure by making it easier, use outlines, keep a list of topics that are important to you. When you think about what do I write about, what's your area of expertise, let people know that you're the expert in your area and make it look like you. If you have a quirky personality, show that. You've created content. The other item you can do is you can curate from other sources. When you go to a museum, that museum exhibits are not curated by one person. There are other outside sources. And so here's just an example of things that came from Baltimore Washington Medical Center. And the key is make sure that you share where the information came from. So you're not stealing it, you're borrowing it. And if you're not sure where to look, check your follow social media and Google Alerts. Google Alerts, if you're not doing Google Alerts for your industry, you really should be doing that. So, and you can just go into your URL and type in Google Alerts. It makes it really simple to find information around your. If somebody else that's doing in the same industry that you are, subscribe to their email list, you know, and begin relationships with them, because there's enough business to go around, so we don't have to feel like we have to be out here by ourselves. We talked already about giving credit for the to the original author or source. So we've created, we've curated. One of the last things that we can do to make email content more palatable is actually take the email that you use each month and convert those to posts. So that's what's called extending the life of your content. So if your email gave you 4 tips on selling more tickets for your next event, you can also use that as a post. Okay, send your invitations in advance. When to send your event invitations? That would be a post that you could send. So you could hang flyers in your store, or you can give people tips for designing effective event flyers. So really what you're doing is extending the information that you've already put in the email. So instead of posting the event on Facebook, well, you can talk about promoting your event on Facebook. VIPs love special anything. And so now you've taken the VIP special pricing and you've talking about 5 things that VIP want. So it makes it very simple for you to take content, create it, curate it, and extend. You want to reach your customers where they are. Once you have email, you take that email and then post it to your other social platforms, because we know that email and social media combined are the best ways to share information. And ta-da! Ruby, we're back to you.
Yay, thank you, Twanda. What's my next? Oh, and this is a perfect segue. So Twanda, so thank you for that advice around curating content, because I know a lot of people that I talk to are like, whoa, you mean I'm going to be sharing other people's stuff, and they get a little worried about that. But if you can be seen in your industry as the expert go-to person for the content that you want to share with people, then you will get a lot more attention, a lot more visibility for your business. And my screen just disappeared, so I don't know what happened. Do you still have control, Twanda?
I do. Here you go. Do you see
There
it
we
now?
go. I kind of see half
I
of
can
it,
see it. Yeah, it's kind of cut off somehow.
but you know what? Everything important. There we go. Well, I will often have people in my workshops ask me, okay, I have Facebook or I have LinkedIn and or I have Twitter or Instagram or whatever they're using. Do I really need to also use email? Can't I just stick with social media? They'll also ask me that same question around their website. Do I really need a website? I'm on Facebook. Isn't that good enough? You know, that's where everything's happening. So here's how I like to share how email and social and your website should be working together to create synergy for your business. So if you look at this diagram that I have here, in the middle is your website in blue, and that is your online home on the internet. That's where you have total control. That's where you can put anything up there that you want or take anything down that you want, and you're in total control of that, much like a brick and mortar store, whether or not you have one of those, right? So that's the centerpiece of your business. That's where you want to shine on what it is that you do. Then a concentric circle out from that is what we call your email list. And these are your really, really, really important people, because having used permission-based email, right, those folks have signed up and they voluntarily raised their hand and said, yes, I like what you do. I want to hear more from you. Put me on your list. And they've given you their email address. So those are the people that you want to treat really, really well and give them super duper special content and specials and offers and everything. And then the next concentric circle out from that is what I call your social media tribe, connected to you on LinkedIn or follow you on Twitter, right? And your job as a marketer for your business, that's one of the most important jobs you have, is to drive people ever closer to you. So get them to join your email list. The people on your email list, continually treat them well and drive them into your website. So everything should be driving to your website, not the reverse, okay? Because that's where you have control, and that's where people, you know that those are the people who are the closest to you and have the best opportunity to become customers or clients. So when you think of email and social and even your website all together, keep this paradigm in mind and don't just live in any one of these circles. Make sure that you live in all three of them and that you're constantly pulling people in closer to you by what you post on social media and by what you put out in your emails. And that's how you create synergy between these three entities, your email, your social media, and your websites. So there you go. That's my answer. Go ahead, advance.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
There you go.
Diana sent this question: how can I create separate email lists from an existing list? Now, Diana, I'm going to assume that your email list that you're talking about is in constant contact. Twanda, if I could go to the next screen, please.
Did you hear that, Twanda?
I did. I'm pushing the button.
Oh boy.
Oh my gosh, I've never had this much technical difficulty.
This has been a challenge today.
Okay, I think it just takes a second.
Oh.
There we go, Pam.
Okay, I'm still seeing question. Okay, there we go. Let's see if you can hear the sound on this, because this is actually a recording. And it sounds like not. Okay. Alrighty. So
Right here, you want me to click that button?
click on it and see if it will go, if it will play. or we'll go to a live screen, and if we can share my screen again, I can go live into Constant Contact, which
Okay.
might be a better one because it's not playing on yours.
Okay, so let's go back to Pam. Okay, Pam, did you get it?
I did, thank you. And let me log back into my Constant Contact. It logged me out, just like it's supposed to after a while.
Keeping you safe?
So here's the deal, and I'll do a little talking is while that's loading. But if we already have an email list in Constant Contact, we can go in there and open that email list. So I'm going to use an example of Jack's Barbecue. They do backyard barbecues for families. And in doing the barbecues, they discovered that a lot of people wanted to do them at their companies too. Said, hey, can you come to our company and do a barbecue? So they wanted to start a new list on the companies. So let me show you real quick how to do that. I'm going to go into my contact list and get Jack's Barbecue list. Oh my goodness, it's going slow. I have a feeling my modem is on its last leg. I actually have a brand new one sitting here that we tried to hook up last night and had no luck.
We just lost. You better get that modem hooked up soon, huh? We lost you, Pam.
Can you hear me now?
Moving, but nothing hearing. There we go.
Okay. So I need to go down on my screen and get Jack's Barbecues list. And this is a list of the Jack's Barbecue. Now right now they have 14 customers. Pretty new company, 14 customers. And Morris Betta said, you know what, can you do my company? So that was a company contact. Ida Claire is another company. I just lost it, guys.
Oh, there.
Okay, there we are. We're back. Can you see my screen? Okay, I declare. I'm trying to click that and nothing's happening.
I declare.
Okay,
There
I'm
we go.
going to go with those two, okay, just to call it a day. And so then I go up to Manage List and I click Add to List. Now I don't have a list for company parties, so I'm going to create one. Actually, I might have one because I've practiced on this and I probably did create one. But if I did not have one, I want to show you where I can get it. If you scroll down to the bottom of all your lists, there's a link that's called Create List, and I have a feeling I'm really in trouble here. Yeah, exactly. So at the bottom, there's a list that you can click and say create a list, and you can create a new list, or you can choose one of your lists and click on that. I apologize, technical difficulties here, and we are not getting in. That's why I did a recording so that we wouldn't go here, but that failed too, so we're doing good. Okay. Well, I am so sorry about that, and if Twanda, I guess we better go to the next slide.
In the screen back.
I think the next
To
question
me.
is mine, and I think it's Angelica's question, who I see on the webinar.
Yes, it is.
So Angelica, good question, by the way. Thank you for that.
Okay.
I see a blue screen. There we go.
Okay, Twanda, you must be controlling that.
All right. So asked, how do you add videos to your emails? And so I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. However, let's talk first about why do we want to do it. Video in social media and in emails, it's incredibly powerful. So the statistic that I love to share, and I love this statistic, is that million words of text. And when you think about having to communicate with your audience quickly, efficiently, 1 minute of video is worth 1.8 million words of text. So I did a little bit of valid statistic from Forrester Research. I thought, how long would it take me to write 1.8 million words of text? Because that's a lot of text, right? And if I like writing better, maybe it's just easier to write instead of going through the hassle of creating video. Because we know video is not easy peasy to create, it does take some work. So I thought if I wrote 500 words a day, 365 days a year, that's like one blog post every day, right? That's reasonable. You could do that, right? No holidays, no Saturdays, no Sundays off. Yeah, sure. So 500 words a day. How long before I had actually written 1.8 million words of text? And I'll give you the answer, but think about that for a second. How long do you think? It would actually take 9.9 years to write 1.8 million words of text. Yes, I did that calculation like 6 times before I believed it, but it is accurate. So if you have said to yourself, video, too much work, video, too confusing, video, I don't want to be on screen, right? I don't like the way I look or sound. Well, there's a way to get around all of that. It's not as technically confusing as you might think. There are ways to get comfortable being on video. There are ways to not have to be on screen if you really, really, really don't want to. And that's something that I teach. But think about that taking like maybe a month to learn how to do that, be on video and create it, versus 10 years of writing 500 words a day.
That's a great point.
That's why video is worth it. So let's go to the next screen, and I got a few animations here, so I'll need you to click, Tawanda. So how do you actually, once you got a video done, or maybe you're using somebody else's video, maybe you're curating a video, right? How do you actually put it into your email? And again, I'm assuming that you're using Constant Contact for your email. Are you clicking, Tawanda? Because I don't see anything changing.
Yes, the screen is showing the video link and then the URL.
Oh, I don't
Are you not seeing that?
No, I still see my 1.8 million words of text thing. How about you, Pam? We can't hear Pam.
So I clicked through the whole process, Lynn, and it shows the URL. It shows how you insert the video URL, and your wonderful picture pops up.
Yep. So all you're doing here really is, there's over on the left-hand side, when you're ready to insert your video, on the left-hand side of Constant Contact, and maybe you can be on the screen, appropriate screen as I talk, Wanda, you will see a video link option. So you click that, and a little screen pops up that's asking for your URL of the video that you want to insert. And at this point, you can get your URL from YouTube, from Vimeo, from Blip TV, and point across. So essentially, you find your YouTube video, you copy the URL, you paste it right in here. I think you click Insert next, and it will create, there we go.
All right.
It creates a little thumbnail for you of your video. And you can put a caption on it, you can resize it, and then click Insert. Okay? So what happens is that when somebody receives your email, they click on that thumbnail with the play button on it, and they're taken to your video. Now, that's the technical part of doing it. I want to give you, and it's very easy, I want to give you some best practices around this, okay? Think back with the blue and the green circles, meaning we always want to direct people to our website, direct them closer into us rather than sending them out somewhere else. So my advice always is, when you insert a video in your email, I want the people who get your email to click on your video, and when they go to watch your video, they're going to be taken to your website. Not to YouTube, not to Facebook, not to anywhere else, because remember, we want to pull them closer into us. If you send them to YouTube, then what do they see when your video is done? All the other videos they can watch that are around that same interest, right? And then they're off thinking about somebody else rather than thinking about you. And we want them to think about you. So that process that I just shared with you about how to insert a video into Constant Contact is great. However, here's a ninja tip for you. What I want you to do instead, go to the video, make sure the video is on your website, first of all, and take a screenshot of your video thumbnail and insert that into your email as a JPEG, as an image, rather than a video link, which will look just like what you see here, right? This picture, but it's just a JPEG. And link that JPEG or that image to the video that you want them to watch, wherever the URL is that it resides. That way, they go to your website to watch your video rather than going to YouTube to watch your video. Okay? That's what I want you to do. I think that's it.
Question number 8, is this you, Pam? Okay, Pam, we can't hear her again. So question number 8 is, what is the best way to make use of the free trial without getting overwhelmed? And customer service, actually Constant Contact has an award-winning customer support program. There's a number here, the 866-289-2101, and their support staff, all of your quirks or questions and challenges, and so that's very simple to process. They also videos. There are a large number of training videos and the Constant Contact Health Products tutorials. So those are great ways if you need something right in the moment to get help with your trial. Or you can actually set up an appointment with either Pam or Lynn or myself. So we are here to help you. That's why they call us your authorized local experts. So let's see, what's next? Pam, can you hear at all, Pam?
I
you
can
speak?
I can hear. Can you hear me now?
Go for it now. So go with question 9.
Question number 9, it comes from Shelley, and it's a perfect segue into the next slide. But will you be doing another workshop on social media? And the answer is yes. I've got one coming up at the end of April. And so let's go to the next slide. Did you hear that, Twanda?
Yep, I went.
Okay.
It's there.
Okay, awesome, awesome. There it is. Okay, there's a couple ways you can. There's a couple ways. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I think I'm gonna drink after this.
Start your weekend early.
Oh my goodness, this has been a disaster. The URL. You hear me? URL at the top is blogsconstantcontact.com events, and if you go in there, you can search by state.
So we can't really hear you, Pam. You're going in and out. But these are basically Twanda, Pam, and I do events all the time, constantly, at least 3 or 4 a month each of us. So there are plenty of opportunities for you to get training from us, to get knowledge from us, to get the next best step for your business from us. And here is a list of at least the next 2 that we have coming up. So Twanda's doing content marketing in Phoenix on April 21, as well as email marketing for success. That's a webinar on the 26th. Pam, as she mentioned, is doing social media basics 101 April 27 in Tucson. And I am doing on April 26th a webinar on video marketing. So Angelica, I want to see you there. And Automate Your Marketing, that's a live event in Phoenix. So if it says webinar, it's a process like this. If it says Tucson or Phoenix, then that's actually a live event where we meet in person and we train there. And then this URL at the top, blogs.constantcontact.com/events. Do a quick jot that down or type that out, because that's where you're going to want to go to find all kinds of events all across the United States, or even the UK and where else, I don't know. But wherever you may be, you can probably find a workshop or a webinar on the topic that you need by going to that URL and searching by your local geographical area, or searching by topic that you are interested in. Pam, can we hear you?
Okay, next slide. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
If we go to the next slide, want to thank all of you for attending, but we want to let you know, and hopefully we have all the kinks worked out by next time. Lynn is going to be hosting, and Twanda and I will be co-hosting with Lynn a webinar, Working Together Fridays, on May 20th at 9 a.m. So hope to see you there, and again, I hope I have my kinks worked out for sure. So thanks for attending.
Pam, before we wrap up, can I answer Karen's question real quick? Because she asked about one of the ways that we answer questions, just so you know, is the first ones that come in get first priority. So Karen, your question came in later, but you asked about, can you attach a document in Constant Contact? And you actually can. You can add a PDF file to your document. And the same way we inserted images, we inserted video, you can actually insert a link to your document. So that's an option. And then your second question, there was a second question about how to grow your list. And if we went backwards, I think the email workshop that I'm doing on the 26th is a webinar. That's going to give you some tips on how to grow your list. And that's a whole marketing series that we do, workshop series that we do. So hopefully, like you said, you'll see us live and in person at some of our local workshops that are absolutely free to attend. And then, unless you have anything else.
I see Karen has a question, another question in the question box about, she asked me to repeat the information on how to insert a, hold on, Sear. The video, the screenshot to lead folks to your website for your video. So here's what I would say to that, Karen, is get signed up for my webinar on the 26th. Even if you can't attend, there'll be a recording, and I will be repeating that information in that webinar. But it's basically just, if you have a screenshot tool like Snagit or something like that, and you just take a screenshot, a little quick snip of your thumbnail of the video and put it into your email as an image, and attach the URL to go to your website. But we'll go over that in more detail on the webinar. If you don't know how to get a hold of me, just do Lynn at Lynn. Thanks, Twanda.
All right, perfect. All right, Pam, take us home. We're done.
Thank you all for attending, and hope to see you on May 20th or sooner at one of our webinars or seminars. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.